We are providing only 20% video as a part of promotion. For remaining 80%, that is 6 to 8 articles, current affairs video, NCERT videos and general studies complete videos, please subscribe to our complete package. 1. Citizen scientists help NASA researchers to understand auroras. GS Paper 3, Science and Technology, Space Science. Why recently in news? The U.S. Space Agency NASA is using citizens' collaboration of scientists' observations to unlock the secrets behind auroras. After analyzing 500 citizen science aurora observations during March and April 2015, the NASA team found that many people reported seeing the aurora further equatorward, that is, farther south in the Northern Hemisphere, and farther north in the Southern Hemisphere. The team now incorporates the citizen science observations to improve the aurora view line on the project's map. The project also searches Twitter using keywords to find aurora-related tweets. What is aurora? An aurora is a display of light in the sky predominantly seen in the high-latitude regions, Arctic and Antarctic. It is also known as a polar light. There are two types, the aurora borealis and aurora australis, often called the northern lights and southern lights. Where do they occur? They commonly occur at high northern and southern latitudes, less frequent at mid-latitudes, and seldom seen near the equator. What causes the aurora? The typical aurora is caused by collisions between fast-moving electrons from space with the oxygen and nitrogen in Earth's upper atmosphere. The electrons from Earth's magnetosphere transfer their energy to the oxygen and nitrogen atoms and molecules, making them excited. As the gases return to their normal state, they emit photons, small bursts of energy in the form of light. When a large number of electrons come from the magnetosphere to bombard the atmosphere, the oxygen and nitrogen can emit enough light for the eye to detect, giving us beautiful auroral displays. Why do auroras come in different colors and shapes? The color of the aurora depends on which gas, oxygen or nitrogen, is being excited by the electrons, and on how excited it becomes. The color also depends upon how fast the electrons are moving, or how much energy they have at the time of their collisions. High-energy electrons cause oxygen to emit green light, the most familiar color of the aurora, while low-energy electrons cause a red light. Nitrogen generally gives off a blue light. The blending of these colors can also lead to purples, pinks, and whites. Where can you see an aurora? Auroras usually occur in ring-shaped areas about 4,000 kilometers, 2,500 miles, in diameter around the magnetic poles of the Earth. These rings are known as auroral ovals. The northern oval traces a path across central Alaska and Canada, Greenland, and northern Scandinavia and Russia. In the southern hemisphere, the auroral oval hovers mostly over the oceans circling Antarctica, but it can occasionally reach the far edges of New Zealand, Chile, and Australia. Do other planets have auroras? Auroras have been observed on Jupiter, Saturn, and Uranus, but not on Mars, Venus, or Mercury. Any planet with a magnetic field and an atmosphere should likely have auroras. Mars and Venus have no global magnetosphere. Mercury has almost no atmosphere. Since an aurora indicates the presence of an atmosphere, we might be able to use the presence of auroras to find planets beyond our solar system that could support life. Why do auroras cause power outages and interrupt satellite systems? The electrons spiraling down the Earth's magnetic field to produce the aurora are themselves an intense electric current. At the same time, the upper atmosphere, or ionosphere, becomes rippled like a piece of corrugated cardboard. Radio signals are refracted, bent, differently than expected or even absorbed, making it difficult to communicate at certain frequencies. Electrons accelerated to high energies in the tail of the magnetosphere can raise havoc with satellites, damaging electronics and creating false commands. 2. Maumoon Abdul Gayoom says India remains Maldives' most important strategic ally. GS Paper 2, International Relations, Bilateral Relationships Involving India. Why recently in news? India was and remains the most strategically important partner of Maldives, said Maldives' former president. Whether India is our ties in education and army and navy training and the recent goodwill visit of ships to our country only prove good relations, he said. Indian aircraft carrier INS-V Kramaditya along with its support ships INS Mysore and INS Deepak recently were on a 4-day visit to Maldives. Establishment of relationship between India and Maldives. Maldives is an island archipelago located south of the Lakshadweep Islands. India has had strained diplomatic relations with Maldives since Maldives gained independence in 1966. Both India and Maldives are founding members of the SAARC South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Both countries share maritime borders, with the Maldives being just south of the Minicoy Islands, a part of Lakshadweep. In 1988, there was a coup to overthrow the then President of Maldives, Maumoon Abdul Gayoom. When President Gayoom asked for Indian assistance, the Indian armed forces were deployed to help quash the coup. The armed forces did this within 12 hours of being called in for assistance. Thus, Maldives and India share strong diplomatic relations. The geostrategic interests between India and Maldives. Maldives lies just south of Lakshadweep Islands, and around major trade routes towards the east coast of India. Due to this, India has various military assets in Maldives to enhance its surveillance capabilities and ability to respond swiftly to threats. This makes Maldives a part of our security grid. Some of the assets we have in the Maldives include 2 helicopters permanently stationed in Maldives. India is helping set up coastal radars on each of the Maldivian atolls for coverage of vessels in the region. We fly Dornier sorties around the Maldives to search for suspicious vessels.